Or any highlights of that was a really cool thing that was really helpful to be reminded of.
Busted.
We didn't know ghosts were stubborn.
Do what?
We didn't know ghosts were stubborn.
Yeah. Need help?
To visit people, to visit others.
Like,
Caring for someone who is sick or lonely, you may want to visit.
yes. Visit someone. Especially humans. Maybe cats as well. This is Pastor Jim at Twin Falls Church, where we're having Messy Church, and we're talking about how Jesus wants us to love people. And he has this parable of the sheep and the goat that you might be familiar with. And Nancy was just saying that one of the things that came out with the crossword was visiting the neighbors is a good way to share God's love with them. Now, we also, that some of y'all did, had a scavenger hunt. And so even if you didn't do the scavenger hunt, take a look at that sheet. And we had a map. There's a wonderful book called Bless. And in this book it says, how do you love your neighbors, like Jesus says, if you don't know your neighbors? And even the neighbors right next door. So the little map is putting your house in the middle, and whatever it is, whether there's a street or woods over here like Kathy's, and if you know who the neighbors are in the different places, great, put the names down. If you don't know, then maybe that's some homework to get to know them, to visit them, as Nancy would say. And a way that it wouldn't work if they're diabetic, but a way to meet the neighbors is not scary. It's kind of scary to say, hey, I'm your neighbor. But if you bring them some cookies or a loaf of bread, fresh baked right out of the oven, or something along those lines, that could be just some fruit. To say, hey, I'm one of your neighbors. I'm sorry I haven't gotten to know you before, but I want to get to know you, and here's something for you. And let me know if you have some dietary concerns, so next time I won't do nothing wrong. And then build relationships with your neighbors that way. And you'll be surprised, it's not that scary when you bring cookies or something else. So that's good. Now the other one was the scavenger hunt. Did we have anybody that got some good? What did y'all find in the scavenger hunt?
We found, we said grass for one, and then pine cones and leaves, and walnut and sticks.
Okay, so the scavenger hunt was to find things that stuff might feed on. And so grass and pine cones and sticks and what?
Leaves and walnuts.
Okay, and then to think about what these might feed. Now, we don't have any lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, here. But
Bears, we might.
we have turkeys, we have deer. So would any of that stuff feed a bear? Probably not.
Oh, no.
Probably not.
Also, when we were saying too, we said we don't have any beavers in back there, because we said beavers eat the wood.
Beavers,
Make
yeah,
their
eat wood. Yes. But
houses
bears don't.
in their
So there's
cave.
different kinds of things that feed different kind of people. Kind of like with visiting the neighbors, cookies are going to work for some people, but not for everybody. And so that's a way to know the neighbors is hey, what would be helpful in your life? And because I want to be a helpful, Thomas the Tank Engine. I want to be useful. And that's a good way to get to be a neighbor. Jesus wants us to love our neighbors. And when you realize that loving is doing good stuff, it's really not that scary. So we encourage you to do that. Get to know your neighbors. This is the last of our messy churches for this season because we do it outside and it gets cold and all that good stuff. So the homework is not just for the next month, but you have several months to get to know your neighbors, including some holidays in there that might be easier things to do some of the fun stuff for them. That's a good excuse for me when I get to meet the neighbors because Christmas cookies, you know. So I hope we have some fun ways to help love our neighbors here. And one of the ways is food, and we have some food. It's going to be a little bit slower than
I get to visit
we
a
want.
little longer. We